Monster sell alert! From bar charts, Amazon monster insider trading alert. Founder Jeff Bezos dumps $4 billion worth of Amazon shares. What could this signal? What could this tell us, guys? Okay, so here's Jeff Bezos, right, the founder of Amazon. I believe they have a new CEO, right? So he's out of the scene completely, to the point he's selling billions upon billions upon billions of dollars of his shares. Okay, and it says it right here, guys, number of shares or other units to be sold, okay, and as well as the approximate dates of the sale. All right, so he just sold. This happened today. All right, like billions, like that's diabolical. Why is Jeff Bezos on a selling spree? And remember, this isn't his first time. I remember like months ago, right? He stopped for some time for sure, but like it was like last year or months ago, guys, that he was diabolically selling like every other week. Okay, this tells us a few things. Number one, what does he need $4 billion for? To buy a new house, a new yacht, cars, right? He pretty much has everything he wants in this life. So what else could he need, right? I think it's because he wants to protect his wealth, right? This is what this signals to me. He knows that the collapse is soon, okay? But if he were to sell like a week before the collapse, right? Or like a day before the collapse, he's going to get investigated. And he doesn't want that to happen to him, okay? Because that's what you call insider trading. Instead, if the collapse were to happen, okay, let's say in a year's time from now, right? You sell throughout the entire way, okay, up, right, in portions. So it's not easily identifiable that, hey, you knew that the collapse was going to be coming up, right? Another interesting thing is Warren Buffett's company holds a record of like $400 billion, right? So they're all telling their inside circle, their inside friends, hey, start selling slowly but surely, right? We're not at the collapse point exactly today, but like it's getting very near now. All right, I still believe a parabolic top needs to happen first, and we're on the cusp of it. Okay, then it will happen, right? Then the collapse. But these people are already rich, so they're slowly starting to sell off. All right, so prepare. Now, let's talk about the people who are buying for this parabolic top, right? The people who are selling, like Bitcoin, let's say Michael Saylor and Jim Cramer, those people are the fools, okay? The people who are actually trying to signal, hey, something's incoming, is Tether, because they are the money printing machine of our industry. From Crypto Rover, new, Tether buys 1,800 Bitcoin worth $113 million. What's the number of 113? What is it? It's the number of destruction. Tether buys exactly the amount of the number of destruction, which comes back to what Tether and Bitcoin. Okay? So keep that in the back of your mind. They now hold a total of about 100k Bitcoin worth $6.2 billion. So they just bought more Bitcoin, guys. Right? You see what's happening here? Right? So they're getting slowly ready for this massive run, I think. As well as from Ash Crypto. Institutions keep loading up. Coinbase bought $51 million worth of Bitcoin the other day. Now they hold 17,000 Bitcoin worth $1 billion. Why? Why did Coinbase and Tether are buying millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin? What does that tell you? Right? It tells us that they're getting ready for some sort of crazy mania phase, but on the other hand, Jeff Bezos is on a selling spree with his insider billionaire friends. That tells you that the collapse is near as well. The missing piece is the parabolic top. That's the only missing piece that they want to place before the collapse, because that's how collapses and recessions have always happened. I believe collapses, right? They're doing the 1929 playbook, okay? Because back then the Dow Jones literally went like this, guys. I'm not kidding. It just went like that. And it kept going up and up and up until out of nowhere, suddenly, it just started going back down like that. And that was a collapse, the Great Depression. Right? So you and I are going to take advantage of this great expansive movement coming, guys. And it's right around the corner, by the way, because I believe Bitcoin has bottomed. Justin from Bitcoin Magazine, public company Strives purchases 20 Bitcoin for $1.3 million. Now they hold 20,000 Bitcoin worth about $1.3 billion. Right? More companies, treasury companies buying Bitcoin, such as $5.3 billion Cardone Capital bought another 350 Bitcoin worth $22.3 million. These are significant numbers, by the way. Right? The meaning behind them, and as well as obviously it's a lot of money. Right? So they're putting their faith that Bitcoin is going to go higher. Right? The same thing with BlackRock. I think BlackRock, maybe before the collapse, is going to sell a bunch of Bitcoin. Right? So you have to watch out for that. But again, the money is flowing in, guys. Right? So they're getting ready. But I think the parabolic top triggers, and it happens, and it starts off with a major catalyst. That being said, I think it is the Clarity Act. With the Clarity Act right around the corner, we only have a couple of more days left until it's either going to pass or fail. From Cointelegraph, Clarity said it has until Friday to pass the Clarity Act before the August recess. After that, the Senate will only be back on September 14th. And by then, that's not going to happen. Right? It's going to get kicked down the road until 2030 probably. So, we have how many more days left? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more days left until we know the truth. But even though if it doesn't happen, guys, I think something else will take its place. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm starting to feel, okay, there's going to be a white swan event coming up. And I'm going to tell you guys when I think this will happen. Okay, when it will be triggered. Just give me a second. New billionaire Mike Novogratz expects the Clarity Act to pass before the August recess. Quote, I know it doesn't feel like it, but it will pass, end quote. Okay? So the person who hated XRP, this guy, guys, okay, a long time ago, is telling everyone, hey, the energy, right, the consensus is the Clarity Act will not pass. But he says, wait a second, maybe he knows something, right? Maybe he got the call. I don't know, but I know something's incoming, right? When everyone is on the same thought bubble, right, as something happening or not happening, you want to take the opposite viewpoint, right? So if everyone believes it's not going to happen, guys, right, because there's only 4 days remaining, maybe it will. Okay, Senate Majority Leader Thune says he still expects to hold a vote for the Crypto Clarity Act this week before recess. There you guys go. Right, this came out today from Watcher Guru, just a couple hours ago, actually. Okay, so look at that. There is going to be a vote, but nobody really knows if it's going to be voted yes or no. Right? But I think I do. I think I know what's upcoming. I think I do. I think I'm gonna say this right here, right now. I'm gonna draw. Let's see. So I'm drawing this rectangle, guys. Okay. And this rectangle, I'm gonna add the text here as stating white swan activated. Okay, dated what? Dated 8/3/26. Okay. I think the white swan event is going to be taking place when XRP hits this support line of 98 cents. Okay, and I'm putting it here so everyone knows. Right? That's the feeling I'm starting to get. For Bitcoin, that would be what price? For Bitcoin, it would be right here. Okay, so when Bitcoin bottomed out, guys, okay, here's Bitcoin bottoming out at 57K, 58K, okay, around that region. What did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin created some sort of like resistance line there, right? It broke out, but it never came back to retouch it. You see this? Look at that. Bitcoin never came back to retouch it, correct? Never. Look at this. But you know what did? XRP came back to retest it here. Okay? XRP came back to retest it. You see this? And it's holding beautifully for now, that is. Right? When XRP retested it, it exploded. Okay, for the first time. Bitcoin never retested it. So I think the white swan, whenever it will happen, will activate right there. Okay, that's what I'm starting to think. Right? For XRP, the reason why I say it's going to create a new low is because of the liquidity. So Bitcoin could come down like this, right? It could come down like this, and it'll hold above the low, but XRP doesn't need to, right? Because there's liquidity formed right there and there, right? So it'll be like some sort of decoupling for like a short period of time where Bitcoin holds the low, but XRP will not. And when it's time, the white swan will most likely activate. That's the feeling I'm getting. I'm going to put it out there right now. So if it happens, we called it. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But that's what I'm thinking. The timing, I'm not 100% certain. It will just happen whenever they're ready. From Cointelegraph. Today, Senator Cynthia Lummis says Republicans are doing everything they can to get the bill to the floor and pass it, but they still need 60 votes. Quote, "We are ready and willing to get this across the finish line," end quote. You see this? So they want to pass, guys, because they know what this bill will do to the markets. It's going to unlock clarity, unlock the floodgates to open wide, right? So the money starts flooding in. We have an update from Eleanor. New. The White House has not yet responded to the ethics counter proposal sent by Senators Tom Tillis and Ruben Gallego last Thursday, according to a source familiar with the matter. So it seems like Trump still hasn't responded to the Clarity Act counter proposal, right, for the ethics issue, guys. Okay. A deal on the Clarity Act's biggest outstanding issue has yet to materialize heading into the week of a potential vote. But again, Trump is very volatile. We could tell by the war stuff, right? So maybe he's caught up on that. I think he is. Somebody should just, pat him on the back and like tell him, hey, maybe look into the Clarity Act ethics issue, right? Because it's on his table. He just hasn't seen it yet. Or maybe he's waiting. Maybe he is. Let's see what happens. But those are my thoughts, guys. I think the collapse is near. We're first going to see a parabolic pump, and Clarity will trigger it. I think we're on the correct path here. Not financial advice. Thank you for listening. What is guys? See you.